5 months to change my life, the 3-month update. There are 4 categories that I've been focusing on and will also be focusing on for the next 2 months. Those are my social media habit, loneliness/disconnectedness, performance because I'm a singer, and movement. How has it been going overall? I think there were definitely some things that I've been doing really well at, and other things where I feel like I'm kind of hitting a wall. And I will talk a little bit more about all of that in detail when I get to each of the points. So how would I say month 3 has gone? Overall, I would say it's been kind of a success. Not a success, like not a rousing success, but it's definitely also not been a bad month. Like the previous month, I was sick for 2 weeks, like a little over 2 weeks. And that meant that I wasn't really able to meet the goals that I would have liked to meet. This month, I have been able to work a lot on different things, and that I feel like it does reflect somewhat in my achievements. My social media habit, really quickly to recap, what I wanted to do was to spend way less time on my phone, like way less, with just like 3, 4, maybe 5 short check-ins each day and 1 doom scroll. And also to spend less time on Netflix and on YouTube watching videos. And I feel like for the most part this month, I've been really good at this. Like I've spent way less time on social media. I don't even really have a doom scroll anymore every single day. Sometimes I still want it. Sometimes I feel like it is just a really fun and easy way to turn off. But some days I don't really even want it. And I think that's actually a really positive development. I would say concerning the YouTube and Netflix, watching less of it, I am mostly doing better about that. It's not entirely perfect, but sometimes I just want to watch an episode or 2 of something, and that's okay. I have to focus on not letting it drag out too much, but I feel like I've been doing better with this too. So a lot of the evenings that I would usually spend watching something or scrolling through social media in the past, I have now been spending reading, what else? Doing jigsaw puzzles, painting, fun, somewhat creative things, but ones where I can also turn off my brain. I don't necessarily need like a phone or a laptop for that, and that's actually good because I do spend a good bit of time for my various jobs in front of computers and phones. So I would say that this one actually was probably like an 8 out of 10. It was really successful this month. The second one is disconnectedness. I feel like I have made a little bit of progress in that this month, but not to the degree that I would like. So the one bit of progress I have been making over the last few months is that I signed up for a book club, and I have been attending that. I will be attending that next week again. And that's really fun. That's a really simple, really quick way to connect with people. It's an English book club, and I really enjoy that. And they choose really nice books, and it's a nice group of people. It's a small group of people, and I really actually like that much more than if it were like a huge group of people. So that is fun. However, so far the people I've met at the book club are all significantly older, except for maybe one person, but they're all significantly older than me. Not that that is generally a problem, of course, but it also means that that's not really like friend material. That's just not how that works. And I've been wondering recently, how is it so hard to make friends, especially in your 20s? Like, I feel like I have made a few friends in this city since I moved here almost 3 years ago now, but it's only a few, like genuinely just a few. And the reality is I did not study in this city. I work in places where one of the people that is definitely an acquaintance of mine is from the work I'm currently at. But generally speaking, it's just so hard to make friends if you don't have those people around you, like the kind of people you might become friends with. Like my sister's friends were people she worked with. Almost all the people I know, their best friends are either from the time when they were still in school or university or where they work now, or occasionally someplace where they were doing a hobby and they found a friend. But I feel like such few places nowadays offer the opportunity especially for people in their 20s who are not at the university anymore, to make new friends. Like, where do I go and do that? Exercising, for example, like a dance course or something like that would technically be definitely an option too. But literally all the dance classes in my city, because I did look into that, they're all at times when I am working. So obviously I cannot attend that, even though I would have liked to do that, because I really enjoy dancing. I've looked into other workout stuff too, because it is a really fun way to meet people. But either it's in places that are very hard to reach for me, because the city is not as connected, especially later in the evenings, as bigger cities would be, or it's at the time where I'm working. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if maybe it is this city, because there's a university here, so there's lots of young people and there's lots of older people, but it feels like people in their like late 20s, mid-late 20s and like early 30s. I don't meet that many people like that. I don't know. I feel like this is one of the things where I've kind of hit a wall a little bit, and where I'm like, where do I find more friends? Like, I like people. I love chatting. I am a very yappy person. I can yap forever. And I would say that, especially in a one-on-one setting, or like with two other people or something like that, people usually like me really quickly and I can make friends very easily. But I would first have to find these people. This is definitely something that I will have to keep working on, I think, beyond this challenge too. I will try to keep improving on this during the challenge as well. Because how is it possible that this is so hard? It can't be this hard. I have to be able to make some friends. It can't be that deep. The next one is performing, as in performing as a singer. And this one is also one where I feel like I'm kind of hitting a wall at the moment. The reality with performing is that I have tried reaching out to venues in my city a lot. There aren't very many venues, and most of them just don't want to accept somewhat beginner artists, as in beginner in performances. And then there's the whole thing, I have been trying busking, which, yeah. In my city, there is only really one good spot for busking, because the city laws, each city where I live, in the country I live in, can decide their own laws concerning busking, and this city's laws are really strict about busking. And there's only really one good spot, and you're only allowed to be there for a short amount of time during like a very specific time of the day. So if there's already like another one or two people there, you're probably not going to be able to play there. It's very limiting. I've tried, but literally every time when I go there, when I have time with my work and with all my other things, it's already full. I will eventually busk. I will. But it's just, this is not really working out the way I would like for it to. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. One thing that I've been thinking about is potentially reaching out to venues in other cities. Because while my city, and this is something that is generally well known in the music community in this city actually, which is something I found out well after I moved here, is that it's just not very welcoming for somewhat beginner artists. Like, if you're not an established artist, nobody's going to want to book you. So I've considered reaching out to venues in different cities. The cities that I'm thinking about are probably the city I'm thinking about is the capital, because that offers most opportunities in this regard. But it's like a almost 3-hour train journey for me. It's a while. So that is something I could totally do that like a few times a year, but it's not something I can do regularly. I have sometimes considered, do I really live in the right city? Is this where I'm supposed to be? But at the same time, I wouldn't know where else to go, because living in my country is really expensive, and there is such a shortage of apartments that it's a lucky coincidence if you can find an affordable one anywhere at all in a city. So I think for right now, I am still staying here and maybe trying to reach out to venues in other cities, and especially in the capital, and seeing if maybe I can get to do some performing somewhere there, even if it's only like 3 times a year. That's already better than the 0 times a year that I've performed this year. Also, they're going to be looking into like people bookers, venue bookers, or festival bookers are going to be looking into the bookings for their next year pretty soon. So I can start applying to these kinds of things. A lot of being a singer is planning and this kind of administrative stuff that none of y'all will ever actually see if you don't want to see it. And I wasn't aware how much there was to this in the administrative area either before I became a singer. It's something, if you're an independent singer, it's something you grow into. It's not something you already know all about. And it's a process and a progress. And if you don't have all the connections, the music connections, the industry connections, it's really difficult. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's work, it's hard work, and it's long. Like, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Concerning movement, I feel like I've been doing pretty decently in that regard this month. I didn't last month because I was sick, but this month I've been doing really well. I've been trying to dance a little bit pretty much every single day, and most days I manage to do somewhere between like 15 and 30 minutes. And it feels so good for my body. Like, I really noticed a difference. And this was one of the goals actually at the beginning of this entire 5-month change my life challenge, to have a little bit of a dancing session every day, because that's good to get the emotions out. And the other ones were focused a little bit on strength and endurance training. I have not been doing that very much yet. I thought this month I am going to ease back into it after a month of doing very little physical activity aside from walking because I was sick. And in August I had a lot of pain flare-ups, so I wasn't doing that much then either. So the dancing has really genuinely helped me, and I've really been enjoying it. And this is something that I can fit in very easily, and that doesn't cause me further pain flare-ups because I have chronic pain, and that's not very fun. And I have to be a bit careful about what I do and how much I do of things. But dancing does not cause the pain flare-ups, so I just improvise. I did used to dance once upon a time. Like, I did ballet when I was a kid. I did some jazz dancing. I've done a little bit of hip-hop, contempt. Like, I've tried different ones, and I just improvise. I just have fun. I just shake my body a little bit to music. It's not that deep. It's literally just for the fun and the movement of it all. Concerning including strength training, that is my next step to involve, I think. That is the part that I like least, and that causes me most pain flare-ups. Strength training. Cardio, not as much, but strength training, that's the one where it's at. That's why I think that I have to start really slowly and very small. I think my body would probably benefit from including a little bit more strength training. Yeah. I will start that this upcoming month now. I will listen to my body, and if I'm doing too much, then I will scale it back down a little bit. I will keep up the dancing. That's the most important part for me, because it gets my body moving in a way that I enjoy, and it also helps me regulate my emotions, which is also important. This is the update for October, the 3rd month. Am I exactly where I wanted to be at the beginning of this challenge? No. I do still have 2 months, of course, but I still feel like I'm not making as much progress as I would like to make. And some of these things are obviously out of my control. Things like getting sick, pain flare-ups, the city I live in not really lending itself to being a beginner performer, because I'm not a beginner artist. I am trying my best. And that best is something slightly different every single day. It will get better, and sometimes it will get worse. I feel like I have at least started something, and I have started exploring again and really focusing on trying to reach out and be a little bit courageous, especially with the whole loneliness thing and meeting new people. And that's good. Stepping out of my comfort zone here and there is a good thing. So I would say, as I was already saying earlier, for social media habit/addiction, I would give myself an 8 out of 10 this month. It went really well. For the loneliness, disconnectedness, I would give like, I don't know, 3. Like, I made some progress, but it wasn't massive. Concerning performance, I feel like I put in a lot of effort into that this month. I put in like a 7 or 8 in effort, but the result is like a 1, which is really frustrating. I think you can feel my frustration through the screen probably. And concerning working out/movement, I would say it's like a 6-7. So it's going pretty well. There's room upwards, but it's going pretty well. We're heading in a good direction. This is it for me for this month. I will be back with another update next month if you want to follow this journey. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon with another video. Bye! HSV or something.